Hi, I'm Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He's one of the contributor of the book Become Empowered, Echoes of Grace and Strength, no other than Miss Darlene Green. Welcome to Book 101, Miss Darlene. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you, Daniel. It's an honor to be with you tonight. So, I am a retired Navy commander. I'm also a wellness and health consultant in the field of helping all people elevate and activate their foundational master selves. Also a director of client services in a technology and network company. So, wear many hats, actually. Um, I am most passionate about helping people with their health.
Certainly. Miss Darlene Green, thank you so much for sharing your talents to the world. So tell us what is Become Empowered to the world.
Yeah. So this is a book of real life stories of women who have gone through very, very challenging things and then come out on the other side in a triumphant way. It is a book that embodies, I think, not just the grace and the strength of women, but the transformational growth and the resilience that women face in not made up stories, but real autobiographical stories.
So this is anthology, Miss Darlene.
It is, and it's an honor to be a part of it. This was, autobiographical. It was very personal for me, and it tells the story. My particular chapter tells the story of a history of having married very badly with two ex-husbands who were emotionally and physically abusive, and then rolling into what was just a godsend gift of a beautiful husband. Actually, was never going to date again, and then ended up finding and being blessed with this amazing best friend, and then man that we married 17 years ago. And after, I don't know, it was 5 years ago, he was diagnosed with early Alzheimer's. And as I mentioned, it's been a journey of hardship and certainly heartache, but also one that led me to a path of being able to help other people.
Certainly. And thank you so much for doing that. We need people like you. What common themes of resilience and transformation emerge across the different stories?
Yeah, you'll see people having to learn to focus on the things they can control.
Yes,
We have a tendency to want to be the puppeteer in life, and we can't always be that puppeteer. We have to learn things like self-compassion, and we learn not only our own emotional awareness, but also emotional regulation. So we have to grow emotionally as we endure and overcome these major hardships. And I would say that, we are not unique. There are millions of people who are incredibly empowered and powerful. We're just a sampling of them. There are so many people who are doing all the right things, surrounding yourself with supportive people, cultivating perseverance, finding meaning in the struggle. I mean, one of the things I mentioned was that I don't have any control over resolving my husband's Alzheimer's. And I will tell you, I tried. Like, we tried everything. We did hyperbaric chamber, we did ozone therapy, we did a pulse electromagnetic frequency. We went out of country 4 times for stem cells. We spent $140,000 in a year on medicine or on the IV stem cells out of country. We tried everything. Nothing made a difference until we found one thing that actually did, and that was these little tiny patches that actually help you. You're outside of the United States, aren't you? You're in Canada?
Yes.
So
Yes. In
in
Canada.
Canada, I can say these help activate your stem cells. In the United
Wow.
States, I would say these help activate your foundational master cells, so I don't get into trouble by the FDA, who's decided that stem cells are their own drug. So, but yeah, when you're 30, half of your stem cells are dormant, and when you're 60, they're almost all dormant. And when we started patching him, this light therapy patch, which I had zero belief in, changed our lives. It improved him dramatically in that first, I'd say year and a half. We had more communication. He was awake. He was back to his funny, flirty personality. He regained his sense of smell. I had 4 autoimmune disorders, and I all of a sudden had no symptoms of anything. I'd been diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, diagnosed with fibromyalgia, diagnosed with POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia, probably was actually clinically depressed as well. All of the symptoms of everything just lifted and went away from a silly little patch. So I say that that enabled me then to say, wow, I need to help other people with this. And so I began my journey of finding meaning in the struggle and helping other people. I think there is something really healing when you can take your own hardship and use it, find the silver lining, and then use it to help other people. One, it takes my mind off of woe is me. Isn't my situation so sad? And it helps me connect with other people in a very real, personal way and think, lots of people are going through hard things with their health, with their finances, with other things. So being able to help other people through the process of whatever they're going through has helped me as well.
There always hope people try and try and try until you succeed, as
Mm-hmm.
Miss Darlene did. So, in what ways do the stories address overcoming adversity to find true purpose, just like you?
Yeah. You know, everyone's story is unique, but I would say many people throughout in the chapters ended up in a career path that was different than the one they started in. They left their previous life. It's almost like, the caterpillar emerging into a butterfly and utilizing that strength and hardship of getting out of the cocoon to really become the best case of what they're possibly able to become. That harnessing that inner strength, and really with intention, nurturing your own growth, your own physical strength, your own emotional strength. Not just I spend a lot of time, as I mentioned to you, not just trying to survive, but actually trying to thrive at a time when it would be very easy to curl into the couch and just cry every day. But I think that there's something, when we can say, okay, this is not going to change. I can actually become comfortable with the dichotomy of my husband is alive and yet my husband is gone. I love my husband, but my husband isn't here anymore. But my husband loves me. He doesn't really recognize me anymore. There are all of these, they're very confusing. They call it ambiguous loss. And so I think one of the things you find in each chapter is different. Every story is different, but in each chapter you find people who have faced their challenges and figured out a way to tap into the greatest strength that they have within them, rely on other people, not just like be solely independent, but actually surround yourself with people that are supportive and build a community that is bigger than this one issue and this one challenge and this one person.
Yes, true. So, Miss Darlene, let's talk about the impact and reflection of the book. How can readers apply the insights from these stories to their own lives?
I think there's inspiration. I will say I wrote the book on a couple levels. Let's start with the fact that for those people that are listening to your podcast wanting to write and not thinking that they are writers, hello. Let me introduce you to myself.
Yes.
I was the person I was asked to write this book. I didn't really think I would ever be a part of it, of a book. And I had less than a month to do my contribution. So and that actually ended up meaning I had one weekend because I had company coming in and there was just too many things going on. So I really didn't have a lot of time. Now, the benefit of that was I didn't have a lot of time to second guess and question myself, right? I just wrote. I just wrote, finished it, edited it, looked at it, and turned it in. And because I just did without really getting in my head, I didn't have the time to just, I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. And here you go. I think that in and of itself can help writers just get it out there, just write and get it out there. And then, and actually when I look back and I reread it, which I've only done twice in, a year, it became a top bestseller, quickly, of an Amazon and a national bestseller, which surprised, I think, all of us, but also doesn't. I think that speaks to our vulnerability, our transparency, our willingness to tell the hard truths, sometimes not so flattering, right? It's not fun to say, boy, did I really make a mistake here and here, and share those with the world. But you have to, in order to really, I think, provide that inspiration and that normal human, we're all human, we're all making mistakes along the way, and we're all going to need inspiration and strength. And when you look at it from all these different, 12 different angles of the women that wrote the book, and then you come back and you say, they're not that different than me, actually. And my hardship is also one in that I'm going to thrive through, but I could learn from what they did. I can learn that I can set small achievable goals, right? I can cultivate patience and perseverance. I can dig in and harness my greatest strength. I can be open to the transformation and what is actually going to come out of this as a new opportunity, and let go of the need for control, and then actually see the opportunities around us as they present themselves. I mean, if you would have asked me if I would have ever been on a podcast years ago, the answer would have been, are you crazy? And certainly not talking about the most personal thing I'm going through at the time. But I've listened to now lots and lots more podcasts than I could tell you. And I find them so charming and inspirational and human and real. And I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that I can garner wisdom and strength from them. And that's what I think this book does for other people, is it just helps them, one, feel connected to other people that are going through hard things in the world. Because often what we see, Daniel, is the very pretty picture of what's on social media, the pretty worlds, the pretty vacations, the pretty life that people live, and not necessarily what's real. So this is a very real insight into real hardships, but also real adaptation and courage and growth.
Very well said, Miss Darlene. Beautifully articulated. So, what would be your advice for those people out there want to write a book, want to write a novel or a memoir?
Yeah, I think that there are things that are important. First, do it for the right reasons. Do it for yourself. Do it because you want to. And then sit down, dedicate time. Don't second guess yourself. Don't even edit along the way. Just get it on paper or get it in your computer. Just write. And then at the end, you can come back and you can edit and you can change and you can fix it. But don't interrupt and disrupt the flow of your writing to start being critical, or you'll lose your way. You just get it down, especially a memoir or something autobiographical, right? That is your story. You know your story. Write your story down. You can go in and fill the gaps later. I think that people sometimes don't write out of fear. Let's not make any real important decisions based on fear. That is not a place to make a decision. Make decisions out of positions of strength and confidence and courage, and know that you are unique and your story is unique. And even still, it will connect you with so many in the world who have experienced things very similarly.
Certainly, and stop procrastinating, people. If you have the passion to write, write. Just like Miss Darlene Green. So, what would be your short-term and long-term goals in writing,
In writing or just in life?
in life?
In life, I really want to help people with their health. I want to connect people with these patches that actually changed my life, changed my husband's life, changed my family's life. Have helped so many people get people come out of pain. I had a woman who was 74 in excruciating pain. On a scale of 1 to 10, her pain level was a 14. We patched her and dropped it to a 0 in a minute. And at the end of a week of being patched, she said to me, Darlene, it is not an understatement to say that you've saved my life. And so the ability to have that, I had another person, she had an open oozing wound for 10 years of her neck.
Yes.
And it was really awful. They wanted to take out her back 3 teeth and her jaw. And Vicky said, absolutely not. You're not doing that. And she started patching. And 3 months later, her lymph nodes are back to normal. Her gum is pink and healthy. And the open oozing wound that had been there for 10 years, it was an abscessed cyst intertwined through her jaw, disappeared. Another friend's eyesight improved 3 times. Her stigmatism went away. There are knees, shoulders, sleep, energy, all these things happen when you start activating those master foundational cells. Your body knows how to heal, and it's so safe, and there's no contraindication, so it doesn't matter what medicines, and it helps everything from headaches to, just reverse aging your body and feeling your best. I can't think of a higher calling than to take the journey that nothing has become more sacred to me in this journey than health. Health and relationships, health and family, making a difference. And so when I see my husband's decline, I recognize that time is very precious. And the time that I do have on earth, I want to make sure that I'm helping other people, that I am living my best life. And that's not an easy thing in the middle of grief, right? So I have to take care of myself. And I've learned to do that, right? Meditating, exercising, getting good sleep, drinking good water, eating healthy, all the things that I need to do, not just so that I have a good, healthy life, but also so that I can try to avoid having my children go through this again with me. Watching their pain in dealing with the loss of their father is excruciating. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't help. They're going to suffer. We're losing someone that we love and adore. So what can I do? I can take care of my own health, and I can make sure that I share these patches with other people so that they can take care of their health.
So, can you describe us in 5 adjectives of cell activation technology?
I don't know if I can.
Breakthrough.
Miraculous.
Breakthrough.
It's breakthrough technology. It is changing the face of medicine. We have endless doctors. I have 4 doctors that are taking these patches. They can't talk about them from their practice because of pharmaceutical gag orders and office guidelines. Having said that, they take them and they talk about them and they take them to their family. So some of them actually do talk about them, but just sort of underneath the table. But I would say that there is hope for everyone. There is nothing that your body doesn't know how to fix. You don't have to know what the problem is, because your body knows what the problem is and your body knows how to heal itself. So what this is helping do is tap into your body's own innate wisdom to repair and heal itself. And we have seen everything. I mean, if I told you this, they sound too incredulous when I talk about people that were in wheelchairs walking, when I talk about stroke victims who move, when I talk about autistic children who speak for the first time and who elevate their, from kindergarten to upper third, lower fourth grade in 5 weeks. I mean, there's just so many things, but your stem cells were your master foundational cells were the first two things that made you, and they built every part of your body. So why can't activating them when they're dormant go in and help repair any part of your body? It can.
Certainly. So this breakthrough is highly recommended, Miss Darlene.
I think it is the most recommended thing that you could possibly do for your body. Our company has skyrocketed. Like, we're the fastest growing company. We've been around 20 years. The initial patches were invented for Navy SEALs by the inventor on behalf of the Department of Defense to give our U.S. Navy SEALs endurance and resilience and an ability to tap into their own fat burning and improve their mitochondrial health. So this technology has been very proven over 130 clinical studies. This is not something that's fly by night. It is, if you Googled in PubMed, GHKCU, that's copper peptide, over 50 years of studies on that. And that's what these are elevating in an effort to improve our body's health. So I say this you have to understand, there is not a lot of things I haven't tried.
Mm.
You heard some of them, but there is a laundry list of things that I tried, and I never noticed any difference. I never noticed anything with any supplements. I never noticed anything with any of the therapies have we ever tried. This, not only did I notice a difference in my husband the day one, but I noticed a difference in myself day one. And so I know these work. I've seen it on too many people. And it is just a matter of, what do they do for you? What's your highest priority with your body? And how is it going to go to the most important thing in your body and start repairing and healing your things first? So yeah, there's, besides drinking water and getting food and drinking and eating, sleeping, this is up there as the most important thing I do every day.
Certainly. So, Miss Darlene Green, thank you so much for sharing cell activation technology to the world. So, to sum up our discussion for today, how might the story serve as a resource for those mentoring others through personal transformations?
I hope that it does. I hope that my story helps people who maybe haven't thought about writing or considered writing. When somebody says to you, you know, write that down, document that. Your story is impressive. Listen to them and give it a shot. I would also invite people to reach out to me. I'm happy to connect with people. You can do that at my website, which is iamreverseaging.com. You can also learn about the patches there. There's studies. You can see them. You can catch videos. You can connect with me and say, I saw you on this Book 101 review, and I would love to help anybody. It's completely free, the consultation from me. And honestly, where the stem cells were about 20,000 up per IV, these are $99 for a 1 month supply when you buy them wholesale, and I can get you the wholesale best prices. So that is an extraordinary difference for something that actually works so much better. So I hope to inspire you to write. I hope to inspire you to take care of your health. I hope to inspire you to be proud of your growth in the face of hardship, and to recognize that we don't transform, we don't have transformational growth without hardship. So if you're in the middle of something very hard, understand you're going to come out stronger for it in the end, or you can if you work at it.
Miss Darlene Green, again, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your book or to support your cell activation technology that is breakthrough?
Thank you, Daniel. So yeah, the book is Become Empowered Echoes of Grace and Strength. It's available on Amazon and many places that you buy books. And again, reach out to me at iamreverseaging.com. iamreverseaging.com, and you'll see my picture.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Darlene Green, because if we support her, more breakthrough to come. So, Miss Darlene, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Daniel.
Bodycount people, see you soon.